All right, let's go over to the gear tab. I have yet, to be honest, to figure out what that means other than give it the gears. If you're a company admin and you click that, you come across to the participant tabs. If you're a participant only and you log in, you come in and see these exactly as you log in. So at the home tab, my account is basically just I want to come in and change my password to something else. And you can also start associating projects if you want here as well. We're going to come back to that on this tab. Get software. This is where you go to download shipping agents. And of course, it's whatever version you have now. We had Mac OS. In fact, we're compatible all the way back to PowerPC because there's a lot of guys that we started up with that had Pro Tools machines that they said, why do I have to upgrade? Everything's working just fine. Why do I want to spend a lot of money? So we only had a link to 32-bit, but of course, being Mac OS, it's both. So you pick this one, you pick this one. They're exactly the same. You can also download what we call a console app for Windows and Mac. So rather than you logging onto the portal to manage shipments, you can actually just launch this console app. And when you log into it, you still have to log in because we track who initiates shipments and where were they in the system. But once you log into the app, you're presented with the first screen, which is projects. Pick a project. You can drag entire folders into the app, pick destinations, and hit go. So it's a more rapid way of managing shipping rather than from the portal. So it's your option to take care of that, and download it and give it a try. See what goes on. Okay, so that's get software. This computer, this is probably one of the most important things that you're going to have at your startup. All right. And what you can see here is I have 3 different location accounts on 3 different portals. So I've got my demo account on my demo portal. I've got my normal discovery account on the Airship Discovery portal, which is where you guys are. And I've also got another account for Jim Henson Company, which we support. Now the interesting thing is I only have one shipping agent on this machine, but you can associate or configure that shipping agent with as many individual location accounts as you have access to. So that's kind of a handy thing because of course you can do concurrent shipping to unique destinations rather than saying, well, I got to have everything in a queue. If you're shipping stuff to 5 different destinations, well, do them all at the same time. If you have the CPU and you've got the bandwidth, just do it. One of the things that you want to do, and it was in the instructions, which was, I'm just going to kind of jump back here for a sec. It was called Get Software, Download Software, Install Software, Go to this computer. And in those instructions at some point I had indicated create a folder wherever is handy, convenient for you, and call it Airship. When you get into this point here, okay, we're going to add a location to this computer. What you're doing now is configuring a location account to that shipping agent. So when you click that add button, you're going to get a pull down here, which is basically whatever available location accounts are there in your company account. So I'm going to just do this one for a quick sec. And then you have to navigate down through to where do you want it to be. In my case, I'm just going to run it users, me, desktop, and I actually have a folder on the desktop called Airship. So if I save the changes now, I've completed the configuration. I'm not going to because that's Mark's location account, so I don't want to screw around with them. But as soon as you do the save changes, you're going to get the light box, and then it'll come back up and you'll see another location or your initial location added in this stack here. Now once you've actually done this configuration, now that's activated your shipping agent and you're ready to go. This is going to change in a couple of weeks so that you can download shipping agent software on as many machines as you want. You can create as many location accounts as you want. You can do the configuration on the machines once. And now you've got what I will call an Airship enabled machine. And at that point, I'm going to actually give you a quick tour through it, but it's now migrating to download a shipping agent, install it, configure it to a location account, make as many as you want, and then to activate it, you assign a license key to it. I'll show you that. Now, the other thing you can do is you created that first airship folder. If you want to change it, of course, you're always welcome to browse to a different location and pick another folder and save it. Okay, so that's basically how you configure a location account to the shipping agent. And once you've done that, if you come back over to locations, you're going to see, like in my case, I've got a green check, which means that the shipping agent is now live in your account. I'm going to go back over here again. This computer, shortcuts. Shortcuts is pretty straightforward. Rather than you navigating all over, especially, I'm only looking at my Mac, but you guys are going to have tons of other storage environments. You can add a shortcut, and let's just call it demo. And it will display as many, in case of Mac, the Finder is like this. In Windows, you actually get another tab so that if you have network-based storage, you can actually do IP specific paths out to your storage environments. All you're really doing with a shortcut is saying, hey, I've got a whole bunch of navigation I want to do, and I want to go down in, and I want to, it's like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So once I get to the navigation point that I'm happy with, I save the change, and now I've got a new, they're all called demo. I have a new shortcut. So you can use shortcuts as obviously shortcuts when you're creating shipments or when you're creating cargo. So I'll tell you what the difference is in those now. And we are going to delete this guy. Save the change and it's gone. Okay. General parameters. What that's really just showing you is what have I got shipping agent installation wise, and you can set debug levels to what you like, and if you change it, save the change and you're done. You can also show advanced options, which basically sets throttle rate limits on this location. Regardless of what you've got set, don't go over the top of. Bind address and bind port, I'm going to leave to another discussion for now. Script languages, again, this is where you can add script languages. Right now we don't have any in my directory, so there's none there. Shipments. Actually, let's come backwards to that. Projects. Yes. Projects. Okay, so I've got a ton of different projects because I'm playing around with a lot of folks. Let's go into Airware Technology for a sec. So a project is really nothing more than saying, what do you want to call it? What locations do you want in this project? Of every location that you have in your company account, which ones do you want associated with this? So you might have, think about it. You're doing 16 different ad campaigns. Why do you want all of it mushed together? You've got other various programs that you're working with where you've got dailies, you've got sound, you've got cuts, you've got raw files, you've got effects, and so on. So you can create a project and as many sub-projects as you want and associate as many or few locations, cargo, users, and so on with each of those projects. And adding locations is obviously the same thing. What have I got to pick from? And save the changes. I'm going to discard, but users, you can add as many or as few users as you want. And I'm going to spend a minute on this because this is really important. The role type, you can be anything from observer, which is you're not involved in sending or receiving data, but you do want to get informed about things. Maybe you just want to log on to the portal to see what's going on activity-wise in the projects that you're associated with. So you can think about this as there's people within your facility that want to be observers and dig into what's going on. They want to have email notification about what's happening. You can also assign observer class to clients so that, make them feel part of it. I've set you up in Airship. You're now a user in the system. We've associated you with various projects that you're involved with. And there you go. Let's just do that. All right, so now I'm just an observer, but I don't want to do that. Participant, I'm sending and receiving. Manager class it's in the middle of the night, and the person that's assigned that role who's there in the middle of the night, has a little more latitude on making decisions. Most of that has to do with changing the priority of shipments and so on. We'll follow that through. Email is you can have every person in every project set from I don't want any email to summary, which is once all the transactions in a particular shipment are completed, just send me one email with the summary. So if you're sending to, say, 3 different destinations, you're not going to get any email until that third destination is complete. And for some people, that's a problem because I want to know when each destination in that 3 destination shipment completes. So you would be summary plus my company, which is all the transactions completing in this particular project when a shipment is initiated. So I would get the initiation email, I would get the summary of each destination completing when it is complete, and then I would get a final summary email. All means I've actually got other companies securely built into relationships, and we're spanning those borders in the portal. So I want to have everything of my company plus summary plus everything that's going on with the other participants from the other side of the company. So it's a very, very dynamic way to say, what is this person in this project, and what kind of communication do you want them to have based on your preferences or theirs. You can also associate cargo with this, and we're going to go talk about cargo now. Okay, let's talk about cargo for a minute. I'm going to call a piece of cargo alter ego. And I only have one location associated with my machine, so that's why I only have it. I'm not going to talk about these for a minute. We're going to come back to those. So basically, cargo is, remember how we created some shortcuts? I'm just going to, no, I'm not. I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to navigate down and I'm going to go users and me and so on and so forth. What you're doing when you create cargo is you're basically, we got some stuff in there, so that's cool. I'm going to select that group of files. Now cargo can be one folder with files in it. It can be nested folders. You could have as many primary subfolders as you want. As soon as you choose what you want, save the changes. Okay. So now we've got a piece of cargo in there called alter ego. Okay. I can associate that with projects now. Anything that I have permission to add to, select it. You can select more than one if you want and save the changes. So now you've got a project with locations and users, and you've got some cargo associated with it. So what the heck is cargo? Cargo allows you to create shipments where maybe you're initiating the shipment from your location out to other people. Maybe some other people in that particular project in other places in the city or the world are allowed to pull pieces of that cargo to their location. Or you can have the third equation, which is I'm neither at the shipping destination or the recipient destination. I am just logged on to the portal someplace in the world, but I have the authenticated access to those projects, and I can initiate shipments to other destinations or between other destinations simply by logging on to the portal from anything. In fact, I've done it from an airplane on my iPad and my phone. It's just simply initiating a shipment. So when you create a new shipment, it's based on what project is this associated with. Let's use my testing project. You notice we have 4 tabs here. Choose cargo. You can either ship files from your local computer, or you can ship files from, and you notice I didn't associate that cargo with this one. We're just going to keep moving here. There is cargo. This is Neil. He's in England. This is Marty. He's in Florida. This is Mark. He's in the UK. So, and you can notice some of them are Mac, some of them are Windows, and so on. I could say, hey, let's go Marty Win 7. Okay, so I've chosen cargo from another destination. Okay, this is Marty Win 7 in Florida. If I want to drill down, we don't waste a lot of time with display in Airship. If you want to drill down in and see what is in that, you can click there, and you're going to see exactly what's there. Now, in this case, it's only one file, so it's not going to be a big deal. Choose options. Do you want to delay the shipping? Maybe I want to set the shipment up, but I don't want it to happen until, say, the 19th of the month at a specific time. And this is all UTC time in your location. Do you have a shipping or post-delivery ship to add to it? Well, I don't have any, but if you did, they'd be there. And if you did add a script, do you want to delay the execution of that shipment or once it's arrived to another point in time? We set it to ship on the 19th, but maybe we don't want the script to execute until the 22nd at a certain time, say 10 in the morning. Okay, so those are those 2 things. And every time you engage or disengage something, there's usually a pop-up or a warning. Now, we also enable mathematically lossless compression on all shipments. It's not doing anything other than kind of the equivalent of zip. Some people freak out about it, so if you really just want to take longer to ship something, deselect that. That's really what it's doing. And I always wanted the guys in England to have that pop-up over here that as soon as you click that, it says, all you're doing is taking more time shipping this. Because that's really what it is. And we have other clients that want us to support MD5 block checking, so that's been there. Now, I'm going to go back here for a sec. No, I'm not. I'm going to complete this first, and then I'll go back. Add notes if you want. You can copy, paste in, type. Now, these are the destinations associated with this project. So I could select them all if I wanted everybody to have it, or I can pick a particular. Now remember, we were back here the cargo was coming from Marty Win 7, so maybe I want it to come to me. Now what I've done here is we've set up a shipment with cargo. The cargo is actually living on a computer in Florida, and I'm going to pull it to me here in Los Angeles in this shipment. As soon as you select either one or everybody, you notice down in the bottom left corner there, you get airship now. As soon as you commit, you have an active shipment in the system. And if I widen me out here a little bit, it's in transit. You can drill in. You notice there's an airship ID assigned. If one of them is unique. If you drill down in, you get 3 tabs. The first one is who submitted it, what was the cargo name, what was the project associated with it. Excuse me. And if you think about this, if you have multiple shipments going to the same destination, so you've got one in progress or in transit, and you've got others queued, and somebody comes in with their hair on fire and they say, hey, number 4 in the stack is really important now. If you remember that guy, he was the manager in the project assignment, or you have the company admin authority, you can actually go in and say, okay, if this is number 4 in the stack, change the priority to urgent. And now what happens is the shipment that was in progress is paused by the portal. The shipment that you've now changed priority to urgent gets pushed to the top of the queue, and it begins. And once it's completed the shipment, the portal will resume that other shipment that was in progress where it left off automatically. You also get a date stamp for when did it start, was there delayed shipping, and all the other details. Sender summary. Okay, so that's Marty Win 7. He's in Florida. You can hover. He's alive, and he's in his primary throttle rates. Recipient summary. You remember we were talking about me? I'm in a location where I haven't got port 4115 open inbound or outbound, so I'm using a transit hub. And that's exactly what's going on here. So it's going from this guy's machine in Florida to me via transit hub, which is being hosted on Amazon in Virginia. Now, you get progress, pending, queued, percentage delivered, and complete. We only update the portal every 5 minutes, so our attitude about this is more, hey, you gave the box to FedEx and they took it out and put it in the truck and drove away. What do you know about that after that? Because the reality is, once you've initiated a shipment, it's going to get there. And it's going to get there as quick as possible. So that's basically how a shipment's created. Now, you have every shipment in the system as a permanent log of everything that you have been doing in your company account. So it is, in fact, I have permission to drill in on some of these. This is a guy that we're monitoring shipments for. And they're moving data between Los Angeles and a place in Rome. An awful lot of 3D, left eye, right eye visual effects plates. And they're shipping tons of stuff on a really bad network. Whoop, come back here. In this case, it's not a lot. You know, it was only about 3.5 gigs worth of stuff. But if you notice, you don't have to zip or tar rare payloads to ship on Airship. Every individual file retains its individual file name, size, last modified date. So you have a complete permanent record of every individual file. And that's because every individual file is shipped individually. So it's a very, very handy feature to have. One thing I want to point out is, as we've been walking through all of this, there's help buttons on every screen you come into. And it's contextual help, so it's going to bring up things associated with shipments. Okay? Now, if I were back, for example, on projects as an example, you can tell everybody in my neighborhood's come home. Okay, so now I'm in projects and I hit help. I'm going to get, obviously, details and support for projects. So it's kind of handy while you're getting more familiar with everything. And it's also the manual. Everything about, you know, quick start, technical guide, overview, install configurations, and so on, system integration, etc. So it's all there as well. Now, let me think about this. I think I've touched on pretty much everything. I'm going to push these up to YouTube and send you the links. and you're not going to update that until you get them, of course. So please have a look at these. I hope it helps. And if it's kind of almost there but didn't get there 100%, don't hesitate to call me tomorrow, Wednesday, and I'll kick in because you've now got some good visual references of all of the various components of Airship. And hopefully we can get you kick-started way before the end of the week, especially because I think, Tyler, you were going to do some testing as soon as possible on 2 different network segments. I'm also going to send you a PDF that explains that and the various configurations you can do. So anyway, I hope that helps. Call me if you have questions. Thanks.